All right, welcome back. I think we saw a great final, a final that we kind of predicted, expected. We might have hoped for a goal there to keep it more tight, but we saw a game that was very exciting and very tight until actually the last 2 or 3 minutes. But overall, Darren, a deserved European champion.
Deserved European champion for sure, but very sad Germany, I would imagine. Everything was pointing in the direction of a stunt for them. It was a really good final, and we talk about the goal scoring machine of Holland, but actually the defensive machine of Holland won in the final today. So also impressive going into Tokyo.
Exactly, because I think James, you also kept track a bit of the stats. How many PCs did we see from Germany?
Between 8 and 10. I would have thought that with that many PCs we would have seen more goals, but I think, as Darren says, the defensive machine of Holland also stepped up today, and in the PC defense they did an amazing job.
And Darren, did we see any tactical poker on not showing our cards towards Tokyo, or was it just full on? And
there wasn't a lot of variations in the German PC attack, where I think if you've got what does it show now? Eight corners in Germany, 0 goals. The one corner goal from Netherlands is a variation that they showed. I think I can only remember one variation from Germany, a clear one.
I think it did one.
That it was that wasn't very well executed. So I can imagine why they didn't bring it back again. But certainly that not efficient enough for it to win a final or even to get it to a shootout.
It's interesting, the stats, circle entries was 20 and 20. I don't know how correct it is, but yeah, I think you look at the efficiency of Holland, and they scored. In Germany, they had their chances, some really nice chances, but it just didn't work today.
Yeah, and the second half was just completely for Germany.
Yeah,
it was a very impressive performance that they'll be proud of. And then one big gift at the end finishes the game after they don't score in their period of pressure.
Exactly, and that's a top team, right? You can have a hard game, because I think Netherlands they didn't play their best game, but at the end of the day they're very solid defensively, and they punish mistakes of the opponent when it matters.
Yeah, there's a lot of pride and spirit in their defensive effort, including their penalty corners. A lot of bravery. I think a few years ago it wasn't their strongest point, defensive corners, but now it's certainly one of the world's best as well. Clearly, if you concede 8 in a final and don't concede 1 goal, then you've done a good job.
Yeah, I think Konings, the goalie, was very good today, James.
Yes, I think Germany had a lot of scrappy, let's say, chances in the 9-yard area. I think she managed to always be in the way. I think as much as goalkeepers talk about technique and all of that, you can talk about it, but she was always in the way, and she did her job, and that's all you can ask from a goalkeeper. And she did, for me, an amazing job today.
You don't expect to be talking about a good Dutch keeper when they're playing, but
exactly.
But she certainly played her final today.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, we have our special guest that just joined us as announced. He came straight from Amsterdam. He came straight from Amsterdam with a medal. So welcome, Nico de Kerpel. Thanks for being here. Thanks for having joined us to watch the final. What was your impression from this game?
I just saw the second half, but it's a bit what you guys just said. It's unexpected to have the goalie of Holland to have that she has to make a lot of saves. It's a bit unusual. I think the last years Holland is really dominating the women's hockey, and when you saw the semi-final against Belgium, when you saw this final, actually I think teams are getting closer to them. So I think Holland will still be on top for the Olympics, but they have some work to do, I think, for the next 4 years, because teams are working hard to close the gap.
Exactly, and we've had over the weekend a lot of discussions about, I don't remember if it was Thibaut or Toby yesterday saying that the European champion will not be the Olympic champion, because you can't peak twice on a summer. It's the same for the men and for the women. Do you follow that reasoning, Nico?
No, not totally, because for me the
I think it was your brother saying that.
yeah, but he's always saying stupid stuff. So no, because it's the chances are slim, of course. But at the other hand, I think every team wants to focus on the Olympics, so I don't think that every team is at 100% now. So yeah, the best team today might be the best team at 100% also. You know what I mean? So
Of course.
because I think that we will win the Olympics. I don't think at the men it will be like that, but I do think that the women of Holland will win the Olympics.
Yeah, we'll talk about the man in a second. But Darren, do you what do you think? Is this a game that will give a lot of confidence to the German team for the remainder of the summer, or just another statement from the Netherlands that they're just they're again European champion and ready for the Olympics?
Well, both. I think it's a pretty standard Holland-Germany game. And actually, to the confidence will come for Germany that they can do it in a big moment and in a final as well. The small details, of course, I don't think if it's an Olympic final or a semi-final, the same match again, I don't think they'll score 0 goals from 8 corners. I think that will get better. And in terms of the Dutch team, I think it's just a reinforcement of their actual character that they've built, even when it's a difficult match, that they can get it over the line, and then their mentality to actually win things and to stay year on year at the top. It's really difficult and really impressive, and I think what you saw with the Red Lions also this tournament as well. It's hard. It's hard to get to the top, but it's much harder to stay on the top. So chapeau that they continue to do it. I think.
All right, Nico, maybe a word about your tournaments. Basic question, easy question. Are you happy to sit here with a bronze medal, or are you disappointed to be not sitting here with a gold or a silver medal?
No, of course, you always go for the gold, especially if you are or were at that moment #1 of the world. I think we proved in the semi-final against Holland that actually we were the better team, or at least that's what I think about it. The group stage wasn't great, so at the end we can't be happy about every game we played. But we were there when it was most needed, it's just a pity of the shootouts, of course. But the disappointment was there for, let's say, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then you realize actually that you have a bigger tournament in a month. Let's say that we didn't have a tournament for 1 more year, then I would be really devastated. But now it's just a step towards next month, and I think we have the hungerness, or you say that hungerness? We have the hunger. We have the hunger to really beat Holland, to beat Australia, to beat Germany, or everybody who stands in our way to that goal.
Who do you see as the biggest challenge?
That's a good question. It depends a bit of the group stage. I think we can. That's a good question. I would say that we have 2 games. We have physically. I think Australia can really challenge us, and I think tactically that Germany can challenge us. And I honestly believe that if we play Holland, we're gonna win. So I don't think they will challenge us in the end game.
That's a nice statement. I love it. Because actually, hockey is always about momentums. It's always like that. You have to take them and keep them. As you said, you played not the best tournament in the group stage, but you played a very solid game in the last game that you actually played. So the last game you getting out of a tournament was a good one. So you feel like you're stepping out of the tournaments towards the Olympic with the momentum in favor.
Yeah, we came out of the tournament with confidence, even if we lost the semi-final. I think we can be really proud of the steps we made in those 3-4 days during the tournament itself. You need to have a lot of good players to do that, and I'm confident that the team can step up the game again towards the Olympics. Yeah.
Okay, guys, rest me just one more question. It's actually 2 questions for both. I want to know your candidates for the Olympic final this summer for both the men and the women.
Oh, I don't know if it's possible, but I think the men, the best game we'll see is Australia-Belgium.
So for you, that's the final to dream of.
That would be the dream final. Looking at Australia against New Zealand last 2 weeks ago, they were very hungry to perform. I think Belgium will come out of this tournament woken up with a little bit more awake and ready to go. You can't, of course, you can't downplay Germany, India, Holland, Argentina, and I think actually we saw a very good England this tournament as well. But I think dream final for me is Belgium, Australia, and in the women I think it's your standard Holland, Argentina.
Okay.
Final.
And in the dream final for the men, we all know you're partly Australian, partly Belgian. Who will win?
I'll sit on the fence. I'll say congrats to both teams, but I think looking already early, I think it'll be an amazing spectacle. And
he already has a
So
diplomacy
good,
of a Belgian guy. Like you've been here for too
So
long.
well done.
George, who do you want to win, Australia or Belgium?
Australia.
What? Aren't you Belgian?
That's a surprise.
All right, cool. James, same question.
Yeah, it's difficult. I do think that Belgium will make the final. I do think that maybe South Africa as well.
Are they going?
They are going, from what I understand.
They got their funding.
No, but I think it will be the standard teams. I think Belgium will make the final. Germany or Holland for the men. And then for the women, I think Holland will definitely be there. And looking at Argentina previously in their previous competitions, I think it's more likely than not that they'll also be there. I'd love to say that South Africa will be in that final. Hopefully my sister's not watching, so I don't think they'll be there. But yeah, I think standard finals almost. It'll be a really good competition to watch, definitely. Yeah.
All right, Nico. I will end with the same question for you.
Yeah, we know all the good teams. So for me, it's more a case of what happens in the group stage, because people maybe don't know it, but we start against Holland and then we play against Germany. That's our two crucial group stage games. If you win that game or you lose that game, it can totally ruin or make your tournament. So let's say we win those both games, you're probably gonna end top of the group, and you won't play Australia till the final normally. If you end third of your group, then you might play Australia in semi-finals, or so it can go all the way.
But so I hear Australia is the team to beat.
I think from the other group, Australia is the team to avoid in the quarters and even in the semi-final. Yeah. So let's hope we don't have to play them before the final. But I hope and I think it will be us against Australia in the final. Yeah.
Okay, all right. And for the women,
I have to go with Darren's choice. For me, Holland and Argentina are on top of it.
so you're just copying Darren completely for men and women.
Yeah, I have to. Otherwise, I don't.
All of you, yeah. Actually.
Otherwise, I'm not in the 16 at Heracles anymore. So I need to agree with everything you say.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot for being here. Thanks a lot for having shared all your knowledge of the game with us. Thanks, George, for doing the same. But your answer was not completely right. Gotta thank you with a little present from the sponsor. Enjoy it. Not for you, George. For your daddy, James. There you go. Nico, I only knew that you were coming later, so I don't have a gift for you. I'll give you a little bit of water or something. And thanks a lot for watching. We'll be back with a lot more of Scorrd Sofas for all the big events. And we'll see each other later. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.